the unique mix that you have, or is it because of the perlite?
It's because it's sterile, first of all, and soil, although it has nutrients in it, it does inhibit the growth of the roots of new seedlings. So it's light enough to where the seedling, when it germinates, it can immediately start to produce the new leaves. Okay, it doesn't necessarily feed it because it is sterile, but it creates a very light base for it to start. It's almost like having a shoe on that's too tight. Okay, you can't breathe, and that's exactly what happens with the soil. The mix that I use, the percentage mix, I'm the only one I know. I haven't talked to a lot of growers, but I'm the only one that does it this way. A lot of them will do it half and half. I feel that that's way too much perlite. You know, it's too dense. Because this is decomposed leaves, it does have a certain amount of nutrients in it, so it does feed it somewhat. That's the only difference.
And out of the packet that you used, how many seedlings would you expect to get out of that?
We will probably have 100
of
the basil, and probably at least that amount or more of dill.
Okay.
So you have quite a bit of area that you can do. And again, if you feel that that's too much for you to do, but you never have too much basil. But if there's too much for you to do, I would suggest you do half the amount. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, I thought you raised your hand.
Any questions?
Yes.
Do you have to buy sterile water, or can you make it yourself?
No, you don't have to buy sterile water. I just said clean water. Just clean.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband tried to get this out of the rain bucket, and I said no. Because I wash my hands in there sometimes. So I just, regular clean water. It doesn't matter. You can have a system on there. I don't water my plants in the yard or in my greenhouse with a system, but I use it for this. It doesn't hurt it. It's fine. Listen, if we had to worry about that, it'd be an issue. Yes.
And then after that, they're ready to go.
They are ready to go. This is ready.
You don't have to water them anymore?
Oh, yeah. I keep them fairly moist, but what I use is a spray bottle.
Okay.
And a lot of times I would take in one of these, a regular gallon jug, and I poke holes in it, and I just run it up and down. It makes it real simple. You can use a soda bottle. I've had to put my hand, I'm very, unscientific about this, okay? I make it easy. Anybody can do it if I do it. You can do it just like this. You don't ever want it to be soggy, and you want it to definitely have plenty of light. So near a window or a heated area. And we have very low light at this time of the year, I realize that, but it does give it's incredible results. Listen, when you're sitting there looking at 10,000 seedlings coming all up at once, it's pretty. 4 cups of peat moss, 1 cup of perlite, and mix that. Just make sure the most important thing about this is the moisture. You cannot wet it once it's dry and you put it into these containers. It will not absorb it. You have to do it in a large amount. Okay? It's very simple. But again, if anybody wants to get dirty and come up and feel this, they can tell the difference. It's quite moist. It holds itself together. It just starts to come apart.
This will do anything.
All right. Should we take any more questions? Anybody else have questions? Okay. Well, I have free seeds. I have trays available for $4 if you like them. I have these available for $4 if you want them. Again, the only difference in between doing this is that you would sprinkle a few. You just loosen it with your finger. Just loosen it with your finger. A little bit, just like that. Just make a little indentation. I think we have some dill left. And just sprinkle the seeds, just a few. And they're big enough to where you can pick them up. Basil, you can't even see the basil after it's down. But just like that. And what you'll have is a beautiful little clump of dill. And this is also the greatest tray to start cuttings. Our next seminar will probably be on starting cuttings. And these are great trays to use. You can start cuttings in open trays too. I do it all the time. And there you go. All done.
Should we buy a certain brand of peat?
There's only one kind. It comes out of Canada.
One kind?
There's different packaging companies, but it'll either be Favored, which is the normal one. Yeah, you just make sure it's peat moss. Home Depot doesn't carry it anymore. They carry bags of very loose. I recommend highly Ace Hardware. I'm sorry, but just recommend any Ace Hardware has it.
Uh-huh.
They have 2.2 cubic foot bales, I think a half a cubic foot bale, and then the 3.8, the big one. Okay? Now if you get the small cubic bale, the small, like half or two, you can get a small bag of perlite. But I will tell you that the perlite is $5.79 for a small bag, and I pay $16 for a bag this big. You just, you know, you have to make the choice. It depends. You can always buy a bag and share it with a bunch of your gardening friends. Everybody split it up and, you know, pay accordingly. So it makes it quite simple. So I hope I've taught you all something today. It's really quite easy. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Krista and she'll contact me.
Yay!